When we come with that heat, we got skip on the.
Public Fades, NFL Week 17 Best Bets. Here we are. 2 more weeks in the regular season, and most of these games are already done. Or not most. 3 of these games are already done. First off, stop right there. Merry Christmas, everybody. I hope everybody's had a great Christmas this week. Get to spend the holidays with some friends and family and people you care about, maybe some people you don't care about. That's what really tests you on the holiday season. But here we are, back here, Public Fades. I've had a long day. I really wanted to have a Christmas episode of Public Fades this week. The schedule didn't really work out for me as I initially intended. Went to West Tennessee for a couple days. Now I'm back. I just drove back today. I'm a little on the tired side. Got a little headache going right now. Been driving for over 5 hours to get here, to get ready, do my notes. And now, Public Fades. We're back. No excuses. We keep the show rolling. We started in week 2. This is the 16th episode, actually. Wow. This season has flown by. You know what they say, time flies when you're having fun. We've had a lot of fun on Public Fades, especially, over the last few weeks. Hadn't been too bad. We had a couple 0-3s. Or excuse me. Whoa, what did I do there? We have not had any 0-3s. Had a couple losing weekends, couple 1-2s, couple 3-0s. Yeah, a couple 3-0s. 2-1 last week. Not bad. So, before we get into everything, just want to say Merry Christmas to everybody. Thanks for watching. Thanks to all of y'all that watch week in, week out. For those that subscribe, like, comment, appreciate it. You don't know how much that means to me. That is, y'all are my Christmas present this year, along with this nice Green Bay fleece jacket my mom got me. Yeah, so we are 37-21 on the year. Last week, 2-1. Like I said, 2-2 in the honorable mentions. Our 2 wins, New York Giants, plus 3.5 at home against the Vikings. They lost by 3. And somebody in the TikTok comments, Vikings covered. They didn't watch the full clip. I could tell. We bought it down a full point. We bought it down to 3.5. The line was 2.5. We bought it down. Look up here. We covered. We're good. All right. So moving on. Jacksonville plus 3.5 at Denver. They won outright and they won big. That was a game that I was really excited for. Wanted to see what happened. Wanted to see just a really, really good game. Probably the most important game of the weekend last week. That along with the Bears and Packers game. Yeah. But Jacksonville looked good. Plus 3.5. One outright. That's two wins. 1 loss. Dallas minus 2.5 against the Chargers. My big point that I tried to make with that game last week, I was like, why is Dallas the favorite? That's why we're going with Dallas minus 2.5. Yeah, we'll do away with that one. Just 2 wins, 1 loss, big loss, really big loss, but all counts the same. 2-2 in honorable mentions last week. Cleveland plus 10.5 against Buffalo. 23-20 loss for Cleveland. That's just a game where, like I said, Cleveland at home, their defense is like Super Bowl caliber defense. On the road, not so much. But at home, they're pretty good defensively. Held Josh Allen and the Bills to 23 points. Lost by 3, covered the 10.5. Pittsburgh plus 6.5 at Detroit. First of all, as a Packers fan, shout out Aaron Rodgers. Shout out Aaron Jones. We saw yesterday. Oh, Lions out of there. Done. Dunzo. Packers in there. We're in the playoffs. Let's go. Got to get healthy. But we'll see what happens. 29-24 win outright for Pittsburgh. 2 losses, honorable mentions. Washington plus 7.5 at home against Philly. Not looking good. 29-18. Green Bay plus 1.5 at Chicago. Honorable mention. I don't bet on the Packers anymore. I told y'all what it was a few weeks ago. Never again, but I can, bet against them. And I can also put them in the honorable mentions because these don't count towards the record. I don't put money on them. It's just kind of a filler, If you're a real degenerate, and you can go bet on these games too. Just some suggestions. Lost in overtime. No way in hell Green Bay should have lost that game. Chicago had a million things go their way. Packers had a million things go against them. And 22-16 loss in overtime last week. 37-21 overall, 2-1 last week. I got 3 more plays for us. But before we get into those 3 games, all right, let's recap Christmas Day. Now, like I said, I really wanted to make an episode for you guys for Christmas Day. Wasn't able to, scheduling conflicts, if you will. Just didn't want to break down my setup, take it across the state, set it up, record an episode, break it back down. You get it. Just wasn't in the cards for us this week. But we would have gone 3-0. So Cowboys minus 8.5 at Washington. Didn't look that great for Washington early. But they did end up covering, I guess. Lost by 7, minus 8.5 or plus 8.5 for Washington. Lost by 7. That would have counted. And like I said, shout out Aaron Rodgers and Aaron Jones. Vikings plus 7.5 point underdogs at home against Detroit. They won outright. Get out of here, Detroit. You've had your 2 years of fame. Didn't do anything with them. Good day to you. And then last night we saw it was the Broncos on the road at the Chiefs minus 13.5 point favorites. That was just ripe for the picking. And Broncos couple drives there late to win the game, but they did not cover. Did not come close. They weren't close the whole game to covering. It was no Patrick Mahomes. You got Ola Dakun. Did I say it right? Yeah. There's nobody over there. I have no clue how to say his name. But yeah, cover for the Chiefs. We would have gone 3-0. I really wish I could have made that episode for you guys. But don't worry. Didn't really miss out on much, maybe. We can try to go 3-0 still. Merry Christmas. First game on the slate, Sunday, 1 o'clock. Buccaneers at the Dolphins. Now we've got 90% of the money, 74% of the bets on Tampa Bay minus 5.5. They are 7-8 straight up, 5-10 against the spread. Not great against the spread are these Buccaneers. Miami 6-9 straight up, 7-8 against the spread. A little bit better against the spread are these Dolphins. Now here's the tale of the tape, okay? Miami, 2-game losing streak. They were on a 3-game winning streak before that. They went ahead, 2-game losing streak, benched Tua Tagovailoa. We saw Quinn Ewers make his debut last week. Tampa Bay, 3-game losing streak. 3 games, 1-6 in their last 7. Tampa Bay has absolutely fallen off. They were 5-2 at one point. 6-2 at one point. Now 7-8 straight up. The only win was a 3-point win against Arizona. The losses include Carolina, Atlanta, New Orleans. Tampa Bay is down bad. Quinn Ewers, like I said, first start last week. It was a 45-21 loss to Cincinnati at home. But this isn't no Max Brosmer situation, okay? He was 20 of 30, 260 yards, no touchdowns, 2 picks. But it's okay. Not great. But like I said, no Max Brosmer, who just beat the Lions throwing 50 yards, 60. He threw for less than 70, got sacked 7 times, first quarterback to do that and still win a game in the Super Bowl era. In this game, though, Tampa Bay, they've got a lot to play for. They've got so much to play for. Big couple weeks for Tampa Bay if they still want to make it to the NFC playoffs. Miami, nothing to play for other than to play spoiler for these Tampa Bay Buccaneers. In-state rivalry, these two franchises not really fond of each other. Do I think Quinn Ewers gets the win here? I don't know about that. Do I think Miami keeps it close? I think they keep it within 5 points. Give me the Dolphins plus 5.5 as we get into week 17. And another game here at 1 o'clock. -2.5 are the New Orleans Saints at the Tennessee Titans. Now this one's the split's not that big of a difference, or not that substantial. Not that substantial right here. 57% of the money, 62% of the bets are on New Orleans. Now this opened up the splits, like most of the money was on Tennessee whenever the lines first opened. Now, in the last couple days, everybody's like, whoa. Saints team. Hey, Saints team's on the up and up, okay? These are two feel-good stories to end the season. Battle of pride on the line here. New Orleans, 5-10 straight up, 7-8 against the spread. Tennessee, 3-12 straight up, but also 7-8 against the spread. New Orleans, 3-game win streak. Carolina, Tampa Bay, New York Jets. 3 pretty bad teams. I mean, Tampa Bay, we've already said, 1-6 in the last 7 games. One of those was to the Saints team. Now, Tennessee, they're not on a 3-game win streak, but in the last 3, they're 2-1. They have wins at Cleveland, at home against the Chiefs, and their loss was at San Francisco 2 weeks ago, where the line was 12.5. They lost by 13. So close to covering were the Titans. Now, in this matchup, it's Cam Ward at home or it's Tyler Shuck on the road. Last home game of the season for the Titans. They just won their first game at home in well over a year. Well over a year against the Chiefs last week. First time they've won at home in forever. Now, the Titans in this game, they get their last win of the season before they have to go play at Jacksonville. Yes, I said it. Cam Ward and the Tennessee Titans will win this game. But for the play, since this is a spread show, and we got Titans plus 2.5, I don't like losing on a field goal. Okay, we're buying this down to plus 3.5, and we're taking the Titans plus 3.5 at home against the Saints. And I mean, if you feel confident in this, plus 2.5, put a little bit, same money or less money, win the same. However you want to go about this. I think the Titans win this game. I'm still going to buy it down to plus 3.5. I don't want this to be a tie game going into a field goal situation for the Saints and then we lose by 0.5 point. I don't like pushes and I don't like losing on a field goal. Okay. Plus 3.5 for Tennessee. Now, for game number 3, this one's at 4 o'clock. Now, there have been certain games that we've taken here on Public Fades, and some of these games are just like, why? Why are we betting on this? Why? This is the grossest game that I think we've bet on all season. We've got the Giants minus 1.5. Pick'em favorites at the Las Vegas Raiders. 66% of the money, 54% of the bets are on Las Vegas. Why? Why is Las Vegas, getting the public's money right now? I'll tell you why. Because they had a good game last week. Almost beat the Texans. They almost beat the Texans last week, right? They were 14.5-point underdogs. They lost by 3, 23-20. Both teams, 2-13 straight up on the season. 6-9 against the spread. Both teams, same records. Las Vegas is at home. Maybe that's why people are thinking that they're going to win this game. Just bottom of the barrel. Both. I mean, there's not much to say here. Maybe the grossest game I bet all year, like I said. I don't really like betting on an Eastern team playing out west, especially when it's, a 4 o'clock slate or later in the day, but it. Give me the Giants money line. That's how I'm feeling. Giants are the favorites. Why are the sports books making the Giants the favorites? I think that's the answer right there. In a game where I feel like the Giants, both teams are down here. The Giants are just kind of like this, going towards the end of the season. There are a lot of injuries. No Malik Neighbors, no Cam Scatterboo. I'm sure there are plenty other ones. Jackson Dart is in and out of concussion protocol. Yeah, I don't know. I just take Giants money line. So we do have 4 honorable mentions, as we always do. Starting off Saturday, 8 o'clock, we got the Ravens at the Packers. Packers minus 4.5-point favorites. 77% of the money, 63% of the bets are on Green Bay. Now, more than likely, no Lamar Jackson. More than likely, no Jordan Love. Malik Willis is still banged up. Hurt his shoulder in Chicago last week. But he said, when it comes down to it, if J-Love can't go, he's going to be ready to go. And I like Malik Willis. I really, really like Malik Willis. Don't get me wrong. But this line opened up minus 2.5, and that was before. Still no certainties on, if Lamar and Jordan are going to be playing or not. But more than likely, all signs point to both quarterbacks not being able to go in that one. And over the last couple of days, it went from minus 2.5 to minus 4.5 for Green Bay. So if you would like to fade the public in this game, they're giving you 2 extra points. So that would be the Ravens plus 4.5. Now, second honorable mention, we've got the Cardinals at the Bengals, minus 7 for Cincinnati. This one's at 1 o'clock on Sunday. 90% of the money, 76% of the bets are on the Bengals. Now, if you'd like to, I'm out on Arizona. They've let me down a few times this season. They've won us a couple. I just mentioned, a few minutes ago, Tampa Bay's only win was against Arizona, 20-17. We took Arizona plus 3.5 that game. That was a win. But I'm out on Arizona. I like Jacoby Brissett. I'm out on Arizona. But this next one is a game that we bet a few weeks ago. And this was a game where it was the Jets at the Patriots at the time. Patriots minus 12.5-point favorites. And because of a Justin Fields fumble in his own red zone, basically, sets them up for Patriots up for a field goal, and they win by 13. Now the line is the Patriots at the Jets. Patriots on the road this time, minus 13.5. Did you get the story I just said? It was 12.5 in New England, won by 13. Now they're on the road and they're favored by another point more. 94% of the money, 79% of the bets are on the Patriots. This is a game where it seems like this is the most public side of the whole weekend. Most of the most percentage, the highest percentage, I'll get it right in a second, okay? Give me a second. The highest percentage of the public's money is on this game. The game with the highest percentage. You get it. You get it. That would be Jets plus 13.5. If you're just an absolute, you get it. You get it. And then Monday Night Football. This one's pretty interesting. I almost made this a play. I almost made this a play. There's another game that I almost made a play, and I forgot to put it in honorable mentions. I'll get to that in a second, now that I think about it. Rams minus 8.5 at Atlanta. Monday Night Football. 88% of the money, 73% of the bets are on the Rams. Now, this is just a game where we've seen it a couple times this year where teams go into Atlanta and struggle in prime time. We saw it with the Bills a few weeks ago. And the Bills ended up losing that one outright. So, yeah, that would be Falcons plus 8.5 if you would like. The other game, I'm thinking off the top of my head, I don't have it written down. Jacksonville at Indianapolis. Jags minus 5.5. They are, Trevor Lawrence is 1-3 in his career in Indianapolis. I think the story was, the stat was 6-18. Jacksonville at Indianapolis over the last, 20-something years. 6-18 in Indianapolis. Not a good spot for the Jags in this one, but the Jags helped us out last week. The Jags are one of the hottest teams in the NFL right now. The Colts have Grandpa Phillip Rivers. Public fades in that one would be, I don't have the percentage. It was a lot of money. Let me look it up. Just real time real quick. Okay. This is in real time right now. I can't believe I didn't write this one down now. Think about it. So it's 85% of the money, 73% of the bets are on Jacksonville in that one. Jags have won 7 in a row. Colts have lost at least 5 in a row. So yeah, that might be something you want to look at. It's not an official play. It's not even in honorable mention since I'm very unprofessional and forgot to put it in. But that's one to look at for you. But as far as the official plays, we got 3. We got Miami plus 5.5, 1 o'clock Sunday. We've got the Tennessee Titans plus 3.5, 1 o'clock Sunday against the Saints. Miami's at home against the Buccaneers. Tennessee's at home against the Saints. And then we've got the just it play. Just it. Giants money line at Las Vegas. Now with that one, there have been quite a few times we've rode with the Raiders. And quite a few of those times, the Raiders let us down. This would be very poetic to be going against the Raiders and then the Raiders win. Just putting that out there. Very poetic. Let's hope it doesn't happen. Let's go with the Giants. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm tired. But we did it. We've made it to the end. And we're almost to the end of the regular season, as much as that pains me to say. But you have the plays. There's 3 of them. For those on TikTok just seeing this, go check out the YouTube video. Don't worry. If you're against YouTube, don't worry. We've got the plays coming your way over the weekend. Hang tight. Stay with us. Follow, like, subscribe, bookmark it. Make sure you save it and come back to it. All that jazz. And as always, don't bet your house. Don't do that. Especially with these plays. I mean, there's a couple in here I definitely would not. But all things said, 37-21 against the spread here on Public Fades this year. We've done good. We're doing good. We're going to do good. And we're going to go 3-0. Keep that in mind as we fade the public here on Public Fades. Once again, Week 17 NFL Best Bets, Public Fades. We'll be back next week. And as always, we'll see you next time.